Yeah, so how many beers were you on the red wine?
Yeah, I would say I probably had 6, 7 beers, that was it. And then
Yesterday?
No, not yesterday. I had 2 beers yesterday. And then she had 2 bottles of wine.
Shared them with who, yourself?
Me and Emma. So I had 1 bottle of wine, didn't I? And a bit, 1 and a bit, really.
1 and a bit, yeah. She can't drink as much, can she?
What did you have yesterday, Fozzie?
Oh, just a bottle of red. It was lovely. Yeah, nice little...
What red?
Chocolate block. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
I tell you who introduced me to chocolate block, the bear.
Did he? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's lovely, mate. It's
nice,
really
very
fucking
famous.
lovely, yeah. Nice little
Chocolate.
chicken Sunday roast, that'll do.
Chicken?
Yeah.
Pork yesterday for us.
Pork what? What pork?
I don't know. It was pork.
Or like slices of...
No, it was a pork joint.
Oh, yeah.
Crackling on. But
Oh, crackling, yeah. It was a
Oh,
crackling
half.
joint, yeah.
Oh, aye, crackling.
Pork loin.
Pork loin, that's
Pork
probably
loin.
right, yeah.
With cottage pie.
Oh, nice.
There's been a bit of the old sickness going around in the Ochoa house.
So you've got to get back on the fitness regime, haven't you? Get them all up to speed. Get some veg in there.
Yeah. You golfing today, Ben?
No, my fuck, mate. Too wet and windy. It's supposed to be windy all day today as well. Hold on, actually, that might change.
How did you play on Sunday?
Yeah, windy later. Really windy later. Okay. Started with a birdie in the first, even though we teed off in the dark.
England.
Yeah.
Nice first hole, that.
Yeah.
And second hole.
Yeah.
Is that third hole? No, fourth hole. Third hole.
Third hole.
That par 4 up the hill.
4 up the hill.
Mate, that is the hardest par 4.
Brutal, wasn't it? I got par on that. I was 1
Did
under
you?
for 3 hours, yeah. 1 under for 4 hours, actually.
What happened?
And I fucking blobbed it. Right, we good?
We have got to start with United, haven't we? Should we just roll straight in then?
Yeah, come on.
What do you think of that first goal then? 3 minutes in. Van de Ven's fully taking the piss, isn't he?
Do you know what? I wish Mark was here. I do. I wish Mark was here.
Did you watch him last night on his live
The only
stream?
positive out of him not being here is we can talk about all the games because we'd have been on this all.
We would have
Yeah,
spent-
that's true.
You could, though. You could do an hour on this game, to be fair. You could really dissect it. It was so bad from Man United. Yeah, that first goal was just embarrassing. It was. So that's kind of 2 very similar goals in the space of a week, really, that Man United conceded like that. Because one of them was against 20 in the Europa League last week, wasn't there? The defender just picking it up and driving and going all the way through. And it was just so easy, and that set the tone for him, didn't it, Watto? It was horrible to watch.
To be honest, it was a real shocking first half, and I think the goal after 2 minutes or 3 minutes really epitomises the whole of the half. Yeah. But for Micky Van de Ven, who we know is quick, we know is a fabulous player, but you can't pick the ball up 70, 80 yards from Man United's goal and run past 6 or 7 of them without them laying a glove on you.
Yeah.
And just laying it across for Johnson to tap in, and the opposite fullback's nowhere near to be seen. It's
horrific. Honestly, that's really bad. 3 minutes into a game, if he does it, if it's in the 80th minute where he's tired and he's run his course for the game, you understand it because you switch off a little bit. But 3 minutes into a game, mate, a home game, a big Sunday afternoon home game, you can't switch off like that if you're Delap.
I mean, it was just too easy. He's gone past Delap like he weren't there.
Oh.
And he's come across, and I think the commentators were saying Brendan Johnson had a big smile on his face before he even tapped the ball
put the
in.
ball in the back of the net. I like that, to be fair. I like when Rashford loses the ball, lads. Do you think that he has to do more than what he did? Because obviously the way it looks is awful. He just kind of like jogs on and almost forgets about it. It's like he doesn't even worry that he's got to get back and defend or anything. But do you think he has to put some sort of a challenge in on Van de Ven or something, a little slide something, just to try and break it up?
I think before the action happened, we were talking earlier, could he have done more on the actual challenge?
Yeah.
And I think we both think that. Obviously, as a winger, centre forward, however you want to describe him, number 10, obviously some players of that mode don't like a real physical tackle.
Yeah.
But he could have certainly done more potentially in a half challenge.
Yeah.
But when Van de Ven takes it off him, you certainly put the brakes on and think, I'm going to have a little pop back that way. You don't keep jogging half-hearted the opposite way. Honestly, and that body language and that signal, does that then set the intensity and the intent for Man United for the rest of that half?
Yeah,
because it was just so bad. I've never seen anything like
He's
it.
never getting back. Obviously, the way that he gets the ball dispossessed of him and then he kind of jogs it out to a stop, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And he's clearly never getting back. But 3 minutes into the game, surely it's just about intent.
Yeah.
Just sprint back.
You're never getting back, right?
Sprint back.
that very rarely will you let a goal in where the centre-back picks a ball up 80 yards from goal and sprints all the way to the edge of the box, and cuts it back. Very rarely. But most of the time, he will drive for a bit and then he'll pass it to somebody, then they might get a chance. So if Rashford did turn round and run back, he might be able to help out with that fourth pass or that fifth pass, something like that. He don't know that he's just going to run all the way. So that's the bit there. It's about a reaction, basically. If you lose a ball, in modern-day football, you have to have a reaction. But somebody, even then, though, somebody along the line should have taken one for the team. Somebody should have got across Van de Ven, kick him, knock him down, something, shoulder barge him off the ball, take a yellow card early doors or whatever, but you just can't let him drive, because the beauty of having a Van de Ven who drives through those channels like that is everybody sort of looks at it and goes, well, who's supposed to step out? And
he takes players out of the game, doesn't he?
He takes players, so many players out of the game. So everybody's almost looking at each other going, well, I don't know if I should be the one stepping in to try and tackle him.
You can't, like, that's something that in training, you can't replicate that, because there's not many centre-backs that can do what Van de Ven did, is there?
Oh, he looked like a left winger coming down that channel there, to be perfectly honest. I mean, as soon as he went past Rashford, he was touching it left and right foot, at pace, driving forward. And I mean, I'm not saying there were no skill there, because that would be being very detrimental to him. But he didn't have a skillful action. It was just powerful, straight line running and lots of little touches of the ball. And he just glided past every Man United player. And actually, it was like you've just mentioned your son's teams this weekend playing against higher opposition up in the Cup, a bit more physical. He just walked past them at ease, to be honest with you, and it were like he were in a different stratosphere compared to the Man United players. And if you're a Man United player, when you look back at that goal, it is totally embarrassing.
It set the tone.
Yeah, it set the tone for the game.
And Fozzie, what about the red card, the Bruno red card? What do you make of that?
I don't think it's a red card. I don't. I think the referee's kind of just being a little bit too reactive, a bit too rash with making his decision. I think if he'd have stopped and kind of just looked at it a little bit longer, I think he would have come out with a different... It would have been a yellow card. It's a definite yellow card and it's a foul. I think what Bruno's trying to do is just to try and... It's just clip his heels, basically. He knows what he's doing, don't get me wrong, but he's just trying to clip his heels. He's probably caught him a little bit high, but even then, I still think it's...
He slipped and he's just thrown out a bit of a lazy leg, hasn't he?
I think he's very unlucky. Look, he slips for sure. I think the bit where he knows what he's doing because he needs to make a foul, and it looks bad because he ends up with a straight right leg just below the knee type thing. But there's no momentum. There's no real aggression. He can't hurt him. It's just a flick. And I think ultimately the ref's been really quick with that red card. A couple of the Tottenham lads made a bit of a fuss of it. In the end, Maddison didn't. He's obviously spoke to Bruno and said, look, whatever. But I thought it was really good, and he should do it because his Man United captain should come and talk after the game and give his assessment.
I liked it.
So I liked that bit. But the one thing I'd say about that one action, and I think it's helped Ten Hag in this game, is that we end up talking about a red card and 10 men. Let's have it right. I think Tottenham would have liked to play against 11 because they absolutely battered them. And that red card didn't make... Yes, of course, it's easier in the second half to score a goal after 2 minutes. But 11 v 11, it were men against boys. The effort, enthusiasm of that Man United team was a disgrace. Tottenham played the beautiful game, but you have to play the beautiful game, you've got to run harder than your opponent, and you're going to want to win them second balls and do the ugly bit. Tottenham, for all the skill and passing ability, playing through the lines, they wanted it more, they were more passionate, they were more intense. That can't be Man United at home. And don't talk about that red card as in, yes, it was a mistake, but the game were already done. They'd set the tone after 2 minutes, Spurs.
It would have still finished 3. It might have even been more because Man United, at least when they go down to 10, know that they have to dig in a little bit more and they have to work a bit harder. And I think later on they actually did work a bit harder. Yeah. You could see the work rate. But it's the start to the half for me. So start the first half, 3 minutes later, they're a goal down. You start the second half, 2 minutes later, they're 2-0 down. Yeah. I liked it at half-time from Spurs' perspective, right? They had a little huddle on the pitch before the half kicked off. And Vicario was the one doing the team talk. I loved it. I thought... You've only been here like a year, mate, and you're the one giving it. I like that. I really, really enjoyed that. 2 minutes later, they scored the goal, and that was it. It was game over from that point on. Really, it was just so the heart that United showed is the bit for me. Is the lack of heart. You can see Tottenham just were willing to run them ragged.
They just look lost, don't they? But even that red though, just quickly going back to the red, there was a check made.
Yeah.
and they agreed with the referee.
They're gonna agree. I think that's the bit,
why?
because they don't want to make the referee look bad.
Yeah, but isn't that the point of it?
Yeah, I know it is. That is exactly the point of it. I know.
Like, you guys, obviously, you play bloody professional football. I've played a football game, right? Why don't they? Are the referees never played a football game or something?
I don't think most of them have, no.
Because you can surely see that you go, you see what's happened, he slipped.
Well, surely on the VAR, the first thing he says is he's slipped. He's not gone in with any aggressive momentum into that tackle. He's slipped. Is it a straight leg? Yeah, but it's not a red. It can't be a red card in any way, shape, or form. And I think it should have been overturned for sure. But as I said, I don't like talking about it too much because it's obviously a referee and a VAR mistake. But here, Spurs were fantastic. Man United were a disgrace. And that's just a sideshow for me. And like you said, 2 minutes first half of the game, 2 minutes second half of the game. But Big Angel have had a proper word with him at half-time. But what I liked is Tottenham look like they're a team. No, we're going to get together. There's no way they're getting back in the game. Ten Hag will have had a word with his team. They just jog out. Oh, it's goal again.
That's the bit there. That's the bit. It's the mentality of it. Tottenham come out knowing what they've got to do, and it's like, right, from the get-go. And Man United have come out and gone, right, we can just...
Intensity.
Let's just try and get through.
Do you think, Fozzie, that obviously they've got Ratcliffe, Brailsford, Barada, Wilcox, Ashworth, all these seem to be really great appointments. Yeah. Do you think they've fallen at the first hurdle and didn't make the big decision with getting rid of Ten Hag? Because I feel like they've made a rod for their own back now.
Yeah, they have. They've kind of like trying to die on their own sword a little bit, really. They know that they've got so sick and tired of hiring and firing and sacking managers all over the place that they've had to go, no, this is the right one, all right? Believe us, it is. This is the right one. We're going to stick with it. And now they're sticking through no matter what happens. But whatever you say about it, from where they were when he signed Ten Hag to now, you can't say that they've got any real style of play. They haven't got any real kind of what identity Manchester United.
How do they play?
How do they play? Exactly that. And that's the bit there where you go, you've spent, how much money?
660 mil, I think.
660 million pound Ten Hag has spent on players, and none of you can tell me exactly what their style of play is.
And are we going to just fall into the cycle again now, Watto, of if it continues as it is, he'll be gone by November, and then you've got a new manager in, not his players, and we start all over again.
Well, that's the worry for them. Look, they did unbelievably to win the FA Cup last year, but you've still got to look at bigger pictures behind it. You've given him over 600 million to spend. If you make changes now, naturally the new manager coming in might think 250, 300, 450, 500 million quid's worth of that is not his guys. Yeah. And that's the problem you have. They've also backed the manager. They've brought a lot of new staff in terms of his guys. So the whole thing has to change. Look, Man United are a big commodity and they've got the money, but you can't be throwing money away. They've given him the windows, they've given him the money, they've given him his staff, but you come back to it, what's their identity, what's the team? And if you can't get a team for the big game on a Sunday afternoon at home to Spurs to show up and run, you've got no chance as a manager. Because whatever your tactics are, they're finished. They have to run and fight for you. And you saw that Tottenham did that for Ange. There's been a lot of fluff about him, whether this Ange ball and all this is good enough. They played for him. They wanted to win that game yesterday. It doesn't look like the Man United.
They've got a style of play, Tottenham. Tottenham have got a style of play. Their manager has got an identity for that team. Chelsea have, Brighton have, Aston Villa have, Arsenal have, Man City have, Liverpool have. They've got an identity and a style of play. And now we're talking about Manchester United, who haven't got any of that, that's the bit.
It's mad. I was stood on the sideline yesterday at the lads' football, and my mate was going up to the game, and I said to him, I said, do you know what the thing is? He said, you just don't know what you're getting.
No, you
don't. And we both said, could get beat 3-0 today quite easily.
Well, I'll tell you what, right? So Man United now have got Porto in the week in the Europa or Conference or whatever it is, and then they're away at Aston Villa at the weekend as well. And if you lose both of them, then I would say that Ten Hag will be on his.
Do you think? So let's say they beat Porto in the Europa League. If they lose to Villa, Ben, is that the end?
Right, listen to this. I've got something really interesting then, okay? So I was listening to TalkSport the other day, Goldstein and Darren Bent, right? Goldstein, obviously a Manchester United fan. He says, would a good season for Manchester United this year be finishing 10th, 12th, 14th in the Premier League, but they win a cup, they win an FA Cup or they win... And Darren Bent went, no, that's awful. Like, Goldstein said, it's progression, though. It's progression. We're winning the cup. And he went, no, because one, the manager doesn't get to win the cup because he's getting sacked along the way. Any manager of Manchester United, if they're 14th in the league, 12th in the league, 10th, you're getting sacked because it's not good enough. Because you win one, lose one, draw one, lose one, win one, lose one, lose one. That's how it goes. So you're getting sacked. It's as simple as that. So the Premier League is your bread and butter. It has to be the bread and butter. You want Manchester United to be in that top 4 all season long. All season long means consistency. What it means is that you'll win one, draw one. You might lose one every 5 or 6 or 7 games. What's the stat for Manchester United at home in the last 20 games? They've lost 8 home games. 8 home games, Manchester United. That is not consistency. That's not Manchester United, and that's where they need to get back to.
But the problem is, though, to your argument that Benty, by the way, Benty was class on Super Sunday yesterday. But just quickly, isn't that what just saved Ten Hag's job last season? Just winning the FA Cup.
It did. But if you're honest this year and you look at that Premier League table and you look at them Premier League teams, Man United's not in the top 10. No. Nowhere near the top 10. There's 10 teams, you could reel them off now that's better than them. Yeah. And you could argue about 3 or 4 others, to be honest with you.
Yes, true.
Wow.
True. We can talk about this all day. We really
probably can't, though, can we?
I know. We've got to move on. Should we move on to Chelsea, somebody who got absolutely ridiculed in the summer, for signing all these players, loads of money.
To be fair, we gave them a kicking, lads.
New manager. They don't know what they're doing. They haven't got an identity. They have got an identity. They've got an incredible squad. They have got 2 players for each position, and Cole Palmer is... Okay, another one interesting for you, lads, okay? On TalkSport yesterday,
I like this
Sam Matterface, fantastic question he came up with. He said, is Cole Palmer more important to a football team than what Erling Haaland is?
My take on it is yes, because you saw at the weekend with Haaland, even though it's difficult, you can snuff him out somehow, some way. I think Palmer's involved in the play. If he were getting snuffed out because of opposition's tactics, he'd come and get it off the 2 centre-halves. He wants the ball. He can play in any position. He's obviously, he scored 4 goals in the first half. It's just phenomenal what he can do. But he can virtually play in any position, and he has more impact on a game because he's the quarterback in American football. He's on it. He's playing. He's getting everybody going, and he'll take it anywhere. He can assist. He can score. This guy's got the lot. And watching that game, look, I think if you're both coaches, some of the way that the balls are given away because you want to play this beautiful game is madness. And I think for Brighton, that's obviously the first defeat with the new manager. But the high line for them against such a team with pace, we touched on it last week, Chelsea playing at West Ham, and the insanity of some of them tactics. Well, you'd have to go into it here. But look, Chelsea have been absolutely phenomenal. I think if they'd got a decent goalie, they'd be potentially top 4 material 100.
He had a bad weekend, Robert Sanchez, didn't he?
He did.
From a non-goalkeeper perspective yourself, what do you make of Robert Sanchez at Chelsea?
Poor decision making.
Yeah.
That the decision to come out for that first one.
Just don't need to get involved.
And he just doesn't look comfortable with the ball at his feet. Yeah. It doesn't look comfortable at the ball at his feet whatsoever. But Fozzie, what do you make of Cole Palmer then? How good is he? And will Pep be saying, shit, we've let one go there?
I think he probably will be now, but it was inevitable at the time. It was inevitable at the time. He had to let him go. And the Cole Palmer you see now is because he's had a season and a bit already of playing Premier League football at a club that wants him, needs him. And I had this conversation with my son in the car on the way home. He had scored 4 goals. And I said, how much do you think Cole Palmer's worth? And he went, 150 mil? And I went, yeah, I think you might be right, actually, son. I would say that's the minimum as well. I said, I think that's the minimum. Chelsea would not sell him. He's on a 9-year contract. They would not sell him for anything less than 150 million quid. So that's what it would take to get him out of there. And I don't think he could go to another Premier League team. It would only be a Barcelona or Real Madrid, probably. I think I agree with what Watto says. I think he's involved in absolutely everything. So if he's not getting a sniff like what Haaland did at the weekend against Newcastle, he will come and find it from anywhere else. He'll get involved. He works hard off the ball. And then when he does get the chances, he's making assists for people, he's scoring goals, and he still doesn't look bothered. He still doesn't look like he gets carried away with all this glitz and glamour. He just wants to go home and play FIFA or something.
But here's the question. Yeah, I agree with you. Goes home for his chippy chips.
Yeah, chippy chips and FIFA.
No, here's a question. If you were the Brighton goalkeeper, Ben, and they play this high line, Chelsea could have scored 8.
Oh, easily.
Right?
Cole Palmer could have scored 8.
Yeah. So if you're Brighton goal, if you're Verbruggen,
Yeah.
at what point are you getting annoyed? And at what point do you think, I know they've got an identity and we play this way, but they are getting ripped to shreds?
Watto just touched on it there, and it's right as well. You can't approach every single game with the same tactics. It is criminal. You can't do it. If you're playing a high line and you've got... I feel sorry for Lewis Dunk at the weekend because he's playing against this Chelsea team, which are literally full of pace. You look at that front line, the front 4, 5, 6, full of pace, absolutely anywhere. And he's being asked to play in a position which he knows that if he has to turn around and get after them, he's got no chance. He can't go and catch them. He's got absolutely no chance whatsoever. So I think this is the sort of game that maybe you have to look at it from take a step back and go, Chelsea, if we play like this, are going to rip us apart. And that's exactly what they did. And I think that comes with probably experience. The manager has to sometimes just go, yeah, maybe we should just drop a little bit deeper for this game.
Okay.
I think, look, Brighton have been amazing, and he's started so well, Hurtzler. But I just try and put this one into you. And I agree you should always back your talent, back your identity. But if he would have said, we'll have a mid to low block in this game, even just start like that for 10, 15, 20 minutes, Chelsea all week would have known about that high line and would have worked on up, back and throughs. So if you'd have just dropped off and made them think, oh my God, this is different, that their tactics would have had to be different because they know where they were going to hurt you because of what you were going to do. So you have to put something in their mind that's slightly different. And that's where I just think they could have done something different. Even set up with a different shape for 5 or 10 minutes. Yeah. Slip something in there that makes Chelsea have to do something different. And he didn't do it. And that's not being critical of him ultimately because he's been fantastic.
Yeah.
But you still have to sometimes have plan B because every team's watched whatever you've done for half a dozen games and they'll spend hours and hours watching these tapes. They'll know all your intricacies and it's easy to pick them up. It's slightly different to actually deal with it on a match day and combat it for sure. But they'll know what they're doing. If you change up a little bit, their whole week would have been, oh my God, they're doing something different.
Yeah. Watto, just tell us in your training you said about working on the up, back and through.
Oh, yeah.
Right, come on.
Perfect.
I need more info.
It's simple, isn't it? They're that quick. If ever they can bounce into a 9 or even an 8 and play out and the opposite winger's going on a bounce, so centre-half, full-back, anything, into an 8, a 6 even, or a 9 or anything, you play in and as soon as he pops it back, the other wide man or other 8's running, and it's just in. And I mean, I felt sorry for Dunk, 100%. Yeah. They're playing high. And when he's up there and he has to put his brakes on, turn and go back, normally a centre-half, when he sees these up, back and through actions, as it's laid back, normally, because there's not too much pressure, he'd be dropping this way to combat with the pace of Fozzie coming at me now. But actually, he's still going this way, hoping to keep you offside. And at the point I put my brakes on and turn that way, against anybody, it's finished. But against the pace Chelsea have got, it's all over.
Yeah, basically, like a Lewis Dunk has to step in and go with that player that the ball's getting popped into. Lewis Dunk don't want to go in there. No. The last thing he wants to do is go into there because he's leaving space in behind. What he wants to do is stay nice and calm and nice and like with a little bit of space to work with.
Read the game.
I'd be on the 18-yard box if that was
my God,
man. It's scary. When you're playing against these young lads as well, like the Sanchos and your Palmers and the Jackson, like rapid. I'm talking rapid.
He'd have not slept the night before the game thinking about, honestly, oh my God.
You step out of position and leave space in behind, it's game over. You ain't getting back.
Yeah, but that's frightening. If you're Lewis Dunk, I guess
it's horrible.
You're looking at it and going, manager wants to play this way. You'd be worried, wouldn't you?
Yeah, he'd be worried before.
We're going to talk about Arsenal Leicester quickly before we do, though. Cole Palmer, since the beginning of last season, lads, 43 Premier League goal involvement.
28 goals.
28 goals, 15 assists is phenomenal. 45, 50 million quid, I think they bought him for.
Yeah.
Bargain of the last few years, without doubt.
Right, next one. Arsenal versus Leicester. I feel like Arsenal... Do you know what it is with Arsenal? They get it done these days.
Get it done, yeah.
These days, they just manage to get it done by a hook or the
You knew they were going to get this.
Which is championship-type behaviour, isn't it?
And I think there were a lot of pressure on them this game. In a strange way, 3 o'clock kickoff, City had just dropped points at Newcastle, promoted team at home. Everybody knows it's a must-win anyway. But the pressure ramps up a little bit with City dropping points. And look, they were in a real good position. Obviously, they're 2-0 up at half-time. But the one thing I would say is that watching the clips after, because I was actually up at Chef Wednesday, West Brom at the weekend, so I heard this on the radio coming back. But I think the two centre-halves for Arsenal that I've waxed lyrical about, I think Jamie Vardy gave them a tougher afternoon as they've had for a very long time.
Great.
And we would talk about the first goal for Arsenal, whether it's a potential foul on the halfway line for Vardy. And I think he's probably unlucky. It is a foul. But there's a lot of action that goes on post that. But he's a handful. And even though they played against Haaland the week before, I think he give him a run
Pace.
for the money.
Nobody likes playing against pace. Jamie Hardy.
Jamie Hardy? Or Jamie Harvey? Or
Jamie
Vardy. Nobody likes playing against Jamie Vardy. It's as simple as that. Nobody, because he plays on shoulders. He's absolutely rapid.
Still.
He's a little rat.
Yeah.
Still. It's exactly what he... So nobody finds it comfortable, like, playing against pace. It's as simple as that.
Was it a foul for the first goal?
Yeah, probably.
You could argue that it was a foul,
probably was. There was a couple of things that went against Leicester, in fairness. There was the Calafiori second, probably was a yellow card. Probably.
Yeah, it's a yellow card.
Probably was a yellow card. He should have been sent off.
So wait there, you got the theory that Buonanotte is saved?
We think he probably has, because if he doesn't get involved there with giving this imaginary yellow card, then the referee can only focus on the challenge. That's all he needs to focus on is the Calafiori challenge. And it's a yellow card. It's as simple as that. Once you slide in like that and you take somebody out of the game, you're taking them out of the game. It's a professional foul, basically. It's a yellow card. It's as simple as that. So he should have got a second yellow. It would have been a red card, but he gets involved when he don't need to.
Absolutely.
Just stop doing that silly stuff. You know you're going to get a yellow card for doing that anyway, so don't do it. It's as simple as that. But yeah, when it went into extra time, I'm listening on the radio, same as you, and you're just waiting for them to go back to Arsenal because you know it's going to be a goal. But to get the fourth as well, I was buzzing because I have Kai Havertz as captain this week in FPL. Don't ask me why. But I had Kai Havertz. I had Kai Havertz. So yeah, I was over the moon, to be fair. But fair play to Arsenal. Big shout out as well. We've got to give to Mads Hermansen for Leicester in goal for them.
Yeah,
some incredible saves. He had a worldie of a day.
But I think that's the thing, is it Steve Cooper obviously annoyed with the first goal with a foul on Vardy, which could have gone either way. I think probably foul, yellow card. But there's a lot of action to go to lead to the goal. I think rightly he's upset that Calafiori has not got a red card. But like, if you talk about the game itself, Hermansen has made half a dozen saves that, like, we spoke off air about goalkeeping, and he'd be disappointed if he's probably beat with any of them. Yeah. But he's still got to produce the moments, and he made some big saves for sure. And Leicester, as a promoted team going to Arsenal, know it's going to be a tough afternoon. But you've got to play the whole game. You've got to play the whole minutes. Yeah. And whether it's 2 minutes into injury time or 2 minutes into the game, you've got to defend these actions.
It all counts the same.
Absolutely. I think they'll just be a little bit unfortunate because, I mean, you've got to mention James Justin. Oh, my God. That second goal, I mean, there'll be some amazing goals this season. But a volley across the goalie that bends in like that, I mean, you could have put 3 goalies in there. They ain't saving.
Do you remember who is the French player? Pavard scored one.
Yes.
Do you remember? Was it for France or was it in the Champions League or something?
I think it was for France.
France. Oh, right. It's a very similar side techie.
He was a bit further out.
It was incredible. That you just knew once it was bending.
Absolutely.
You're thinking that's going in. That's creeping in.
And like Leicester get back to 2 apiece, and they've put them under a bit of pressure. But like Arsenal were the dominant force. We've talked about the goalie. Earlier you got to start. Arsenal 17 corners. Wow. Leicester 0. I mean, you imagine you're the Leicester set piece guy. Like I've done it when you're going away to an Arsenal or a Man City, and you're thinking about these corner or free kick routines. And the reality is, in the back of your mind, you're thinking, "Are we going to get a corner this weekend?" Yeah. You know what I mean? So you might get one moment. They didn't even get one. We talked about set piece off air, and look, Arsenal scored a set piece there. And
apparently, by the way, Arsenal have invented like scoring from set pieces.
Oh yeah,
that's what I've heard.
Arsenal invented of chucking it on top of the goal.
Honestly, I've
heard reinvented
it's
the wheel.
Revolutionary. Like you just stick the ball in the mixer in the 6-yard box, and you've got a chance of scoring when you've got 2 massive defenders. Like it's incredible.
And then when everybody marks the 2 defenders, you have an overload, and Trossard actually just whips one in. I mean, he could hit that ball another 50 times and that ball wouldn't end up in the net.
Yeah, it's horrible.
And it's that moment where Leicester have got unlucky. But the one thing I'd say about it is, we spoke about it last week, zonal setup again. When you know it's loaded at the back post, take that first man who's your protector and go and stand him there. Yeah. And you've taken all the problems out. Which seems very simple, but obviously in the heat of battle.
I think what teams are going to have to start doing when they play against Arsenal, they're going to have to start asking a lot more of the goalkeeper, especially from set piece. You know you're going to have a busy day when you're against Arsenal. It's as simple as that, especially when you're at the Emirates. But when it comes to the set pieces, you might have to say to him, right, front post, we don't really have to worry too much. We're going to load it at the back because we know that's what they're going to aim for, okay? So I want you, as my goalkeeper, to be on the front foot in that front space a little bit, okay? If you can come and clear anything there and get it out, brilliant. But I would trust our lads at the back post to be able to clear it. So I'm going to ask you for this game against Arsenal is to start maybe a bit more forward, a bit more progressive than what you normally do.
Can you have a mix of zonal and man-to-man? Because it seems to me like every week you look at it and you've got Gabriel and Saliba and you've got some 5'8"
Go to the set piece
midfielder.
coach. Like, for people that might not know what Watto has done throughout his career, he obviously played football, but as a coach for England, for Southampton,
He wasn't just
Norwich,
a goalie
Birmingham,
coach, were you?
You were a set piece coach as well. You were a specialist.
Yeah,
as a set
and
piece coach.
it's amazing to me that it's all come to the fore now and it's named. I'd been doing it 15, 20 years, and it is difficult. So when you talk about the mismatches, so Leicester go zonal. So you can have as many zones or as few zones as you want, but obviously the more zones you put in, then the more of a mismatch a team has. So if you got 5 zones and a goalie, that's 6 players. You'd normally then have 3 or 4 man markers and 1 on the edge of the box. But every team sets it up slightly different. So they've got the zones now, and obviously at that point, that means that you thinking you're protecting the whole goal, and they're your big players. They're your headers of the ball.
In between the posts.
So naturally, you always get a mismatch because you might have, like we saw last week, you had, in the end, it was Kyle Walker who got done. But before that, it was Doku marking Saliba.
Yeah.
You get the mismatches. When I were at Southampton...
Harry Winks was actually marking Saliba.
Yeah, you get it. So Nathan Redmond would have marked a Troy Deeney. Nathan Redmond, because you go zonal and strong because you're trying to say that these guys are going to head it for me. But my question on this and the continuation of what Arsenal do is that you've got your 3 or 4 across the 6-yard box. You have 1 inside it here, but you have an extra protector here, especially on an in-swinger when they have runs across you, because these 2 guys can't get it. But when it's going deep, this guy here should come and stand here and protect at the back, which is what teams should be doing when they're loaded up at the back, because you have to adapt in play. Look, Arsenal can't keep doing this same set piece and keep getting success. It's just madness.
They can.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to do something different
The
to the
thing
market.
is, like a set piece coach nowadays, it's a shame, Watto, that you're not doing it anymore because it's only just now as it becomes sexy.
I know, it'd have been so wealthy.
Oh,
It'd have been incredible.
So much
We're going to be losing him, Ben. Next week, it's just going to be me and you,
But
mate.
it works both ways. It's not just about the set pieces trying to score them. It's when you're a set piece coach, it's about defending them as well. So if you are a set piece coach and you're coming up against Arsenal, you really need to earn your money because, yeah, you know you might not get many attacking set pieces, but you are going to have to work for the defensive ones because you know they're so good at it.
Can we talk about my lot?
Wolves, Liverpool. Again, a very similar story where Wolves are a little bit unlucky. I'll give it to them. I will. It was a good game, this actually. I thought Wolves did really well. Probably might have maybe deserved something. But again, it's that feeling that you knew Liverpool would just get over the line.
But they're just playing really good team.
Yeah.
And they're not getting trounced. It's close. There's 1 goal in it, most games. And I think as a Wolves fan, you've just got to hope, I do anyway, that they stick with him and go, just get through these next couple of games, Brentford and City, and then hopefully, and then give him 6 games, 10 games, and go, right, let's see what kind of a run we can put together. Because even Slot came out after the game, Watto, didn't he, saying he's giving O'Neill a lot of credit because they've narrowly been losing to really good teams. He's got a clear game plan in every game. If you're Gary O'Neill, you probably wanting to kiss bloody Slot, aren't you?
Take that, yeah.
No, hey, look, that's real respect from an opposition manager who's done his own work on your team and knows it was going to be a tough game for him, irrespective of how many points you've got and where you are in the table. Look, O'Neill's a shrewd operator, did phenomenal at Bournemouth, didn't deserve to lose his job. For sure, I think Wolves got lucky in getting him. He's a good manager. I think the fixtures have worked really against him for sure. And they have got some good fixtures coming up post the international break, as you allude to. But within football, it's all about momentum. But I thought O'Neill post-game were phenomenal because he knows that they lads have given him everything. The fans clapped the team off after. He alluded to the fact that normally you'd be getting booed. You're bottom of the league on 1 point. They've been so close in so many games. The hard point is you've still got to get some points and win football matches if you're on 1 point after 8 or 9 games. That is tough. But Wolves fans, and I think the Wolves players, believe in him, they can see what's coming, and when the fixtures do change for them, they'll get closer to where they need to be for sure. But in that game, that was a tough game. Liverpool have gone top of the league with a win away at Wolves, and it was a tough game for them. And in the end, Wolves will be kicking themselves because it was a stupid, soft penalty to give away when they just got back into it. And Liverpool didn't have that game their own way, to be fair. Sam Johnson made an unbelievable save.
Unbelievable save. But can we talk about the save quickly, right? So
the Szoboszlai one.
The Szoboszlai one, right? So I'm watching highlights, I'm watching the game, and Gary Neville says, "Oh, the goalie got a bit lucky there." And I'm thinking, "Oh, Gaz, come on, mate, please."
You earn your look, don't you?
Mate, you earn your look when you read that whole situation that's developing in front of you. You open your body up, you open your head up, your shoulders follow, you move across the goal, and you instinctively stick a leg out because you can smell it.
And become as big as you can be.
As big as you possibly can be. Don't fall into the goal like a little shallow. So open up big, happy to take one in the nuts if it's going to come that way. Do you know what I mean?
That's the part of goalkeeping.
Oh, it's the best part of it. And he opens up and he gets his look because it hits his foot and he's opened up and he's willing for it to hit him as well. Puts it out wide. It was absolutely
Last
brilliant.
week's Fozcast guest, Super Sam Johnston,
Super
available
Sammy.
now. Then
Super Sammy.
It's a fantastic save.
what about
Really,
what
really
about
was.
for the Konate goal? Because obviously he's made a brilliant save from Szoboszlai, and I looked at it obviously from a layman's point of view and thought he'll probably be a bit disappointed with that.
Life of a goalkeeper, mate. Life of a goalkeeper.
Well, yeah, he's made that save. They're thinking they're going to get in at half-time 0-0. And we talk about minuscule moments in any game or positioning, but for goalkeeping, that ball there is so awkward for him because it's in that scoopy wicket-keeping thing I've alluded to before. He can't turn out, but I think it's probably a leg and knee, a bit like the block before, because he's punched a header from 6 yards. You're at 1 yard. You've got no time to react. So to get the perfect technical save, that's not the moment.
Bit like Emi won in the Ipswich game.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
keep the ball out.
He's got it's the judging of the bounce as well. He's got to judge the bounce of what it's going to kick up off the turf like. Is it a bit dewy? Is it moist? Is it going to skid? How hard is the pitch? All those tiny little calculations you have to make in your head as well. And ultimately, he's just got it a little bit wrong. But that's all it takes, because when you get a bullet header like that, which was a decent header to be fair, good pace on it, but he should be stopping it. A goalie of his calibre, I'd expect him.
And when he just made that save, you kind of grow in stature mentally in your own bit. You're actually happy, cross it in or shoot. I'm happy. I've made that save. So I think he would be disappointed.
2 minutes into injury time as well, Watto would have gone in. Honestly, he'd have gone in. I'll guarantee you, even Sam probably would have gone, lads, I'm sorry. I should have saved that. I'm really sorry. But it's a horrible thing to do. One of the last actions of the first half, you're walking off going, oh, please, just let me save it.
And what about Liverpool, Fozzie? So they've only conceded 2 this season. The way I look at it is we don't quite know how good they are yet. How far are they pushing for the title?
Yeah, there's a lot of talk. I think everybody's kind of made their mind up on Liverpool already, is that they're not quite as rock and roll as what Klopp had them last season. They're a little bit more, they build up from the back, a bit more they like to just, it's not all caution to the wind. And the way that it's going so far, they're getting results. It's as simple as that. The one result that they did lose, they probably shouldn't have even lost that. Nottingham Forest, fantastic win for them though. But only conceding 2 goals so far this season is a fantastic start.
Do you think they're title challengers?
They've got to be, without doubt. I think you see some results this weekend which says that this season, hopefully, and I do hope as well, it's going to be a little bit more up in the air. You know, your Man Cities aren't winning every week. Arsenal's aren't. It's not so easy for them. Aston Villa aren't going away anywhere. There's some teams, Tottenham, I think, this may hopefully be a little bit of a title race.
I want it to be
a title. 1 or 2.
Yeah, I want it to be. And we talk about it being the greatest league, and it's the greatest league because Liverpool going to Wolves at the bottom. Liverpool have gone top and it's 2-1, and it could have been a different outcome. That's what we want. We don't want City winning the 5th title at a canter
6-7-0
because it's detrimental to the league on what we keep saying it is the greatest if they keep walking away with it. Now, when we come on to them, they've obviously lost Rodri, so everybody will be thinking, right, we've got a chance. But it's the other teams have got to keep the momentum. So that's a massive win for Liverpool. And when they look at it, they're at the top of the league, but yet they lost at home to Forest, they'll be like, just a point there, and it kept us going. But I don't think it's going to be the old air 'em, scare 'em Liverpool that Klopp had. It'll be position and ball possession and more tactically in possession and in positions, but they've still got unbelievable firepower, Liverpool. Unbelievable firepower.
Watto, can we say that I understand the quality of the Premier League, but if Man City win it again, and would that be 7 out of 8 or 6 out of 7 out of 8?
Yeah.
can we call it the
Well,
most competitive, the best league in the world if they're winning?
No, I agree with your point, and that's why I want it to get tighter, and I want somebody to be driving across the top of them, and that's why, like Arsenal getting closer and winning that game when there's more pressure on. Liverpool are coming. I think Chelsea, look what they've done. Spurs. The only team who's a big team who we'll not mention is Man United, because they're going that way and everybody else is going that way, to be perfectly honest. But we want it tighter. You know what I mean? I think for us to wax lyrical about the league, City shouldn't win it at a canter and possibly shouldn't win it now. And maybe the Rodri thing will give somebody else a chance.
And talking about the contenders up there, obviously we're going to Villa Ipswich now. Would it be disrespectful to Ipswich to say that it was 2 points dropped from Villa, Watto?
It would be disrespectful, because Aston Villa, as a Champions League team this year, going away to a promoted team, you would expect, as Aston Villa, and Emery were very positive and complimentary about Ipswich and the manager before the game, because again, he's done his own work, he's watched the team, he knows what's coming, but he would have expected his team to win that game. And especially the fact that they've gone 2-1 up, he would expect them to win that game, even though Ipswich played really... I enjoyed the game. It were an open game. I think Villa are struggling in that right-back area with Cash being injured. I think Konza is a fantastic centre-half, and he can obviously play reasonably well at right-back. But when he's in that position, he's not got the dynamic of a Cash or any probably other top 12, 14, probably every right-back in the league, if I'm being honest. And when he's up there for Ipswich's second equaliser, he's in that final third and he's trying to force a pass in. And Ipswich, to be fair, were phenomenal on the transition and knew we were out of position. Get the ball up to Delap, who, backing Carlos off, does a step of it in and finish. But I think, like, Carlos is not the greatest of the centre-halves. He gave a pass away last week for Wolves' first goal, or the opening goal in that game. I think Konza's better at centre-half, and they need to get that right-back area sorted to tighten it up. But fantastic point for Ipswich. And to be fair to them, they played really well in the game and created some opportunities. I mean, Emmy made an unbelievable save.
Unbelievable save. A couple of really, really good saves from Martinez. When Delap went through one-on-one with Diego Carlos, I felt for him so bad, because Delap didn't really need to do too much. He kind of just feinted to drop a shoulder to go inside and went on the outside. And Carlos is, you can just see, he's just a bit too big.
He's top heavy.
A bit too bulky, and he can't manoeuvre his feet in time before he knows it. Delap's got the shot off. But a fantastic start to the season for Liam Delap as well. And he looks like a player who's thriving on confidence, but when he does get into them positions, is happy to get the shot off. I always say there's so many players that get into them positions and then the shot's almost like an afterthought, or they don't really execute it properly. But for him, it's like, that's the whole point of it. Yeah. When I get into them positions, I get to get this shot off, I'm going to mean it and I'm going to deliver it with some power and pace.
I love the look of him, I do.
Yeah. Am I right in saying he's come from Man City?
Yes, from Man City.
So, I mean, they're getting some production line somewhere.
But this is what the level, though. I was thinking the exact same thing at the weekend. The level, though, at Man City to make it through to that top 1% and to be a starter for Man City, you have to be good to go there and then. Man City aren't blooding players in, you know. They're not putting players in that aren't quite ready yet. You have to be the finished article, good to go. Phil Foden had like 3 or 4 years of waiting in the wings. Not quite good to go yet. You're going to have to wait your time until you are ready to go, but you ain't getting a chance on the pitch unless you are.
They're producing proper Premier League players here. I know, obviously, that in recruitment, that them and Chelsea really go for 13, 14, 15-year-olds, and they're prepared to put a few quid in to get the better talent, but they know what to do with that talent, because we're seeing clear pathways, a Delap, a Palmer, and if you're not quite at the grade for City, that's no disrespect to you. We've just spoke about that they might win the league for the 5th time running. You've got to be a phenomenal young player to get anywhere near that. But the conveyor belt...
And they'll just sell him for 15, 20 mil. What I like about Delap, I love him, I do. And he almost feels like one of those players that's still got that like rawness to him. You know, like we talk in the past about some players are maybe overcoached, and instead of just pinning their ears back and going, they might turn back and take a touch. He just has one direction, and it's forward, isn't it?
Direct, yeah.
Yeah, he looked like when he received that ball, you're not guaranteeing a goal because he got a bloody World Cup goalie to get past, but he backed himself that he were going to get a shot on the goals. That centre-half were having a tough time to get a tackle in on him. And he looked really, really good in that game, to be fair.
And they're close, aren't they, Ipswich, Fozzie? So we actually were chatting beforehand. They've actually only lost 2 games this season.
Yeah.
Which were to City, Liverpool.
So it's a good start, mate. It really is. 4 draws. And I think the next 4 or 5 fixtures are kind of favourable.
Yeah, they are.
I think if Ipswich, if they go and win a couple of the next 4 or 5 games, you can only say it's a fantastic start for them. Simple as that. 2 wins out of the next 4 or 5 games keeps them into mid-table. For a team like Ipswich coming from League One just a couple of years ago, phenomenal.
I think they'll stay up.
They look like they've got something going for them. But the only point I'd like to make on this game is that we've alluded to referees making mistakes and managers highlighting that. I thought after the game, Emery was phenomenal. He was very diligent in his approach to the interview. Because
you dug that one out then. I like it.
He wanted to be critical of the ref because I think Morsey should have had a second yellow card and been off. But he knew that really his team did what they did. Of course, he did prefer to play against 10 men, but don't be overcritical of the refs. He said, look, the referee could have gone either way. He alluded to the fact that the great referees, the Premier League's got the best standard of refereeing. It could have gone either way. And I'll tell you what, the referees will have gone home after thinking, yeah, should have probably sent him off. But the manager's actually not gone on press and absolutely crucified us. Any 50-50 marginal decision that Villa get in the next 10 games or the run up to Christmas, they're all going in his favour.
We're going to talk about this in a bit, aren't we, when we come on to Forest, Fozzie?
Should we talk about a massive win for Everton and Sean Dyche, Dwight McNeil, 2 goals. And I was actually quite happy for Everton as well because they've had so many games this season where they've been leading and they've gone and thrown it away. And that hurts. It does. It really, really hurts when you're on that team and you've thrown away a 2-goal lead for 2 weeks in a row. But to go a goal down early on and to come back and go and win the game, I guarantee you for the last 5-10 minutes of this game, Everton at 2-1 up would have been going, please don't do it again.
Live score. I was out and about on Saturday afternoon. I was looking at live score. And there was 10 minutes left. And I've got no involvement with Everton or not a fan.
But you're just waiting.
And I was thinking, please hang on.
You're just waiting,
please hang on. Because if they get a point from this one, it's going to, honestly, psychologically.
It kills you. It does. When you keep giving away leads and keep... The draws are what kill you. The draws are what get you relegated.
Yeah, they are.
The ones where you should have got 3 points from them. And there's so many teams that are so good at getting 3 points instead of just the 1 point and not settling. And they'll kill you and they take so much wind out of your sails as well. So, yeah, like I said, I was really happy for Sean Dyche, really happy for Dwight McNeil, absolute player. The second goal that he scored, by the way, the touch at the back post, Watto. Yeah. The composure, the touch, and then the finish as well was well.
No, I was delighted for him. To be honest, like the 1-0 down at half-time, they've not had a kick first half. And they've dominated games in totally the opposite fashion, especially at home at Goodison in the previous weeks. So it was total reversal. And he'd have been glad to get in at half-time 1-0 because, to be fair, if Palace would have had 2 or 3, I think it obviously game done and they were finished. But somehow they hung in there and it was 1-0. And then McNeil scores that first one. It's an absolute worldie. And then touch and finish for the second. So I was pleased for them. I think everything went their way in that game. Not to be more than 1 down at half-time. Tarkowski not to be given a penalty against Mateta. It looked horrible. He's not an aggressive, nasty player. But as soon as he's done it, and Tarkowski's looking, he's thinking, that's a
little bit of luck.
They've had a little bit of luck there, and they need it. And McNeil, look at the stats, 3 goals and 2 assists in 6 games. He's been the star performer for Everton. But they're on 4 points now. They probably deserve to be on probably more than that. But when things are against you, it's difficult. But in that game, they hung in. They got the bit of luck with the Mateta incident with Tarkowski. And ultimately, they've got 3 points, which is massive. And if you flip that onto then a Palace, Everton, same points as Palace. Obviously finished so well last year, I think 6 wins out of 6. And this year, it's a struggle. And even though I'd expect both of these teams to be comfortably above the bottom 3, pressure's mounting now on the other way for Palace.
I think what it does, though, is really highlights what effect getting rid of or losing a couple big players does for you. So Crystal Palace losing Elise, losing Anderson as well. Real kind of, they're starters. Yeah, they're starters. To replace 2 players like that it's a hard job. In the Premier League nowadays, you're talking 30, 40, 50 million pound players. You can't just go and replace them like that and hope they're just going to go and fit in. So it's going to be a tough old season for Crystal Palace. They've obviously got some fantastic players. Eze, they've got some Gay. They've got great players.
They have made a couple of good signings, to be fair. I mean, Ismail Assar, you played with him at Watford, you know how good he is.
Yeah.
Nketiah, on paper, looks to be a really good signing. But it's interesting with Molineux, just going back to him quickly, is they've brought him more central.
Yeah.
I've probably had a false perception in the past where I've thought, you know what, he's just a good, honest workhorse with some quality. I probably underestimated just how much quality he's got. Now he's in the middle, he really seems to be pulling the strings.
But that's because of the way they played him before. Like you said, good, honest, up and down, and what you need, especially when he was in the Burnley days. He's got to be back, got to be defending. If you can do anything in that final third, that's a real bonus. But I need that up, down. And they put him in there, and you actually then see a whole load of new qualities, and you're actually seeing the footballer he's always been. But that's about a manager's tactics, positions, and all of a sudden you change him slightly and look at the record, 3 goals and 2 assists. He looks like he's really enjoying that more responsibility inside a little bit.
Should we talk about Newcastle City, lads?
Newcastle City? Oh, Newcastle's... yeah, Newcastle City.
Is it such a team?
Yeah, all right, here's one for you. Fozzie, is Anthony Gordon fast becoming an absolute hero?
Yeah.
Up in the north, like... big time.
Do you know why, though? Especially in the North East, especially at Newcastle, is because he wears his heart on his sleeve. He will give you 110% every single game, work his socks off, get up, get back. He'll smash people. He scores goals. He gets the crowd going, geeing everybody up. And that, in the North, is the most important
United
thing.
could do with someone like that.
They want to see ability. They want to see flair. They want to see technique. But they want to, first and foremost, see somebody work hard with a smile on the face. And that's exactly what Anthony Gordon does. Won the penalty, scored the penalty. I personally think that FPL should have given him some assist points as well as goal points, personally, because I've got him in my team. No, you can't get assist points and goal points. I love it. Jamie just looked at me and went, what, he didn't get them? No, you don't, mate. And but you don't get, like I say, Anthony Gordon won the penalty. And let's just talk about that penalty, Watto.
Yeah.
In my eyes, it's an all-day penalty. I love the goalies. I keep his corner all day long. But I think once you come out there and dive at somebody's feet, unless you're getting the ball...
Yeah, I mean, again, it's minuscule moments and timing of things. He's obviously coming clean through. Edison's in a position, but when he has that touch, Edison's got to be a little bit sharper if he's coming and getting down and getting the touch. But as soon as you go to ground as a goalie, 1, 2 hands, whatever you're going with, if you don't touch the ball, that forward is well within his rights to just leave his legs there because your momentum's going to take him. Whether you actually sweep him with your hands, he touches your top shoulder, flicks you, as long as he keeps his feet there, your momentum takes him out. And it's a penalty all day. So I thought Gordon was very clever in what he did. Edison, not quite as dynamic and just a fraction late. And it's a penalty all day. Even minuscule contact, you just allow it. As soon as he knocks the ball past him, just let the contact come. And it is a penalty. And I thought he showed some real mental qualities to take that. Because obviously, normally, Isaac or Wilson would be on penalties. But
very calm.
Phenomenal finish. Yeah.
And what about the City goal? Because obviously, Gvardiol's got the goal. But this is what Grealish... And Grealish got a little bit lucky with the nick that took him past Trippier. But that's what Grealish brings to you in the fact that he'll beat a man, doesn't he?
Yeah, beat a man. But he plays the ball into Guardiola, and you got to remember that's a defender.
Yeah.
Centre half, really.
Mate, he the way that he takes it, chops Dan Burns, sails him, sticks it through legs into the corner. You'd be forgiven for thinking that's Erling Haaland, or do you know what I mean?
Well, these are not centre halves that like you used to play behind, are they? I mean, we've just talked about Micky Van de Ven, and you're talking about Guardiola. It's incredible the dynamic of football now. And what any player produces. Like, I was critical of Konsa playing right back for Villa, saying he's not quite got the dynamics, and I don't believe he has. But look at what Van de Ven did. Look at what he did. You know, these centre-halves who can play now and become very, very proficient, full-backs, wing-backs.
Whatever you want.
They've got the physical capability.
The fact that he's up there in the first place is just
Would you say back in the day when you were a young pro at Stoke, you wouldn't see Peter Handyside and Jerry Taggart doing that, Ben, no?
No, Jerry Taggart is not sitting Dan Burn down and then slotting it.
Imagine Ryan Shawcross getting up there.
No chance on his earth. They're standing on the goal line back there with the goalie is what they're doing.
Absolutely.
Mate.
Do you think like Rodri, like if you were to take Haaland out of the team, and then the next one would probably be Rodri, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Is this, how much of an impact is this going to make?
I think Rodri is the most important one.
Do you?
So even with Haaland, I think you take Rodri out, and that's the biggest change first and foremost. They've got other players that can put the ball in the back of the net. Man City have, but you take Rodri out of that team, and everybody's already spoken about all this anyway, and he's the heartbeat. Everybody knows exactly what Rodri is. Player of the season, Well, I think he's.
Is he going to get Ballon d'Or?
I think he was favourite for the Ballon d'Or.
Well, it's Guardiola's worst nightmare. Because for sure he's the only player, and Haaland, I still believe, is a phenomenal player. But the one player he didn't want to get injured this year is Rodri.
Yeah,
he's nursed him after the Euros. He's not put him straight back in. He's given him his rest recovery because he knows how important he was, and he's very unfortunate. It's so innocuous, isn't it? Last week's thing. You hope and pray that it wasn't an ACL, because I were at the Wolves game last week and I saw a kid. I knew he'd done his ACL. I weren't quite sure with that one.
Yeah, me neither.
But he's done it, and I think for City it's a nightmare. And even Guardiola in his press before, he'll only judge this season, and he'll be judged on whether Rodri is the big miss or not come the end.
And it was ironic that it would be typical, wouldn't it, that the week before, Rodri's coming out talking about the 60, 70 games in a season, and then you just think, oh, God, you couldn't write it, could you?
You couldn't write it. I think Son said a similar sort of something, then he went and got injured as well for Tottenham. But they've got a point, mate. They've got a point. If you're playing 60, 70 games a season, that's one every sort of like 4 or 5 days, really. It's a big old ask.
And at this level, that's what we talk about. I mean, the level's phenomenal.
Phenomenal. The work rate, the speed
the
of it all now.
Of the games.
You have too many games, it just lowers the standard. It does. It diminishes it.
Well, that's what we talk about, the drop-off when you come to Christmas, because they're not used to playing 2 games in 3 days.
No, it's too much.
This is why squads are so important, isn't it? Because am I right in saying that Cole Palmer's not been included in the
UEFA squad?
The
Europa League squad,
We're getting to that point now, aren't they?
But then, like I said, the quality's diminished. So the product that's going to be on the pitch on a Saturday afternoon or a Wednesday night in the Europa League is going to be of a lesser standard. And do we want to watch that? I don't. I want to watch every team at full capacity with every player available, no injuries. That's what I want to watch.
But the Chelsea manager's not wrong, is he? Selfishly for him. Yeah. And when you see what he's delivering, if he's at full gas for 38 games for Chelsea, can there be top 4?
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. But if he's then got that extra workload of the European games, and if he drops off 5-10%, that's massive to Chelsea, isn't it?
It's not even just the games, it's the travel as well. You think that Europa, honestly, you're travelling around all over the place. You're travelling on a Tuesday, you ain't getting back until a Friday morning or Thursday morning. You've got another game on a Sunday. You've got no private life.
Well, you're saying Man United, like we talked about, we're there out of the league. Villa's at home to Bayern Munich Wednesday. Tough game, Champions League, fact. But they're at Villa Park again on Sunday. Man United playing in Porto on Thursday night, travelling back either late Thursday or possibly stay over, come back Friday afternoon. He's got one session to organise that team before they're going away.
What will that session look like? That's not going to be... That will just be tactic, won't it?
All he can do on that session, because it's 48 hours post-Porto and 36 hours pre-Villa, good warm-up, and they'll probably do a quick possession, and he'll put 11 mannequins up, basically, put his team out and say, right, these are the patterns, build-up play, goal kicks, mid-block, high block, this is what they'll be, and you're playing a passing drill basically between the mannequins, and the set piece coach might get 5 minutes of a basic pattern, and that's it.
It's a waste of a session. You're just looking at Aston Villa, looking at their style of play, what they're likely to do. All right, lads, this is what they're going to do, this is what we're going to do. But the lads are tired. They're absolutely on their asses. So they're like, yeah, come on, let's just get it. I want to get in my hotel tonight down in Birmingham and have a good night's sleep.
But that's why pre-seasons are always vital for coaches, managers, and to get all your things implemented. And then you know your plan A, B, and again, slightly different teams. You're just tweaking your tactics, but you trust you've done all the work.
Before we move on to Brentford, West Ham in a minute, just quickly though, talking about this Newcastle Man City game. I actually really enjoyed this game. It was a fantastic game, and either team could have won this. Either team, chances for both. Big Nick Pope making big saves, Everton making big saves. It was a fantastic game to watch. Really.
You know, when we were talking about Hermanson, and he's made some good saves, but they're saves he could have made. I sometimes think that Nick Pope doesn't get the credit because he's so big, and he makes saves look like he should make them, that probably other goalkeepers aren't making.
Guaranteed. That's exactly what it is. He makes it. It's like Erling Haaland, right, for Man City. He gets chances and scores chances and creates chances that other strikers wouldn't be able to, because so physically he's so much more of a specimen than everybody else that he can make that chance or he can score that chance. Same with goalkeepers, same with Nick Pope. He is able to get a hand onto that one in the last minute because he's so big. But it all comes down to his body position as well, though, doesn't it? The fact that he stays big, he doesn't sink too low. Because it doesn't matter how big you are, if you sink too low, trying to pull your arm up there to make that save, it's impossible.
Because he's, what, 6'7", isn't he?
6'7", he's massive, honestly.
He's a shoo-in for the England squads. I think he...
Just keeping the ball out the back of the net is one of the best you'll see. It's as simple as that.
And playing at Newcastle, that's big pressure every week.
Yeah.
And what their expectation is, certainly playing at home, and actually with the way the club's developed, he's a phenomenal goalie. I'm pleased he's come back from that injury end of last season, because he deserves really to probably have had a little bit more international recognition. I think it's just because he's not always so pleasing on the eye, but he's very, very effective.
Yeah, true that.
And what about, Fozzie, this Brentford first minute goals carry on?
Right, so quickly, right, before we right, if you're West Ham, if you're West Ham, right, so Lopetegui, if you're the West Ham captain, you're the West Ham goalkeeper, back, right, lads, Brentford start quite quick. Yeah, they start quite quick. They get the ball forward, they put it in the mixer, they've scored 2 goals already in the first 25, 30 seconds, right? So we are on it from the get-go. We know what's going to happen, we know where the ball's going to go, get into their faces, blah, 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 win your knockdown, win the second ball, win 30 seconds, goal. What are you doing, lads? Seriously, you know what's coming, stop it. You can stop it, make a foul, give somebody a nudge, block something. You can't let them score a 3rd goal in a row in 3 weeks. In the first minute.
How do you? What are you doing then? If it's one of your teams, Watto, what are you?
That's what I'm saying. You just block them. So
what are you saying?
I'll tell you what I'd do first. Win the fucking coin toss. Kick off. Kick off. If you kick off, at least you've got,
to the goal.
Yeah, you've got a chance, haven't you? You've got a chance. Roll it back to our goalie. Take 15 touches. Do whatever. Get some blocks in. And just get to a minute and then whatever.
High intensity to start with. Genuinely, what you would say is, because they're obviously making a bit of a play for this now, Brentford, right, is what you would do as a West Ham, you go, right, lads, for the first minute or two, right, 3 minutes maybe, high intensity. I'm talking right up in people's faces. Shut them down. Don't let them get that free ball into the ball. Try and get anything you can on it, right, but you've got to be high intensity. Just for 3 minutes, then the game will settle down. You can get your breath back. We'll get a footing into the game. Sweet as enough. But what you don't want to do is let them take the lead after a minute, because it's the worst possible start to a game.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I don't actually think it's anything rocket science. And like Frank had a little bit of a laugh and a joke after, I'm not going to give you my secrets. But it's very simple. They play forward with bodies forward, and they get their bodies in the right position to fight for second balls. And now we come to your point. When they've got the bodies in the right position for second balls, you as the opposition have got to win them battles. Just set a marker, because all they did, win seconds, recycle, cross. Win seconds, recycle, cross. Win seconds, recycle, cross, goal. That's all that happened. That is not the beautiful game. It is not anything over special. It's about bodies in the right area, hitting the right areas, and winning second
What it
balls.
is, though, at least, what you will do, though, is say, fair play to Thomas Frank and to Brentford. It's using their nous a little bit. They've obviously identified that teams start very, very slowly.
Passive.
Passive, exactly that, passive. They're not quite ready for the full, let's go. So they've gone, right, lads, why don't we start on the front foot and, like what it says, commit bodies. They have to commit bodies. They're not just scoring 3 fluky goals. They're committing bodies forward. So whether you are a defender, midfield, they're getting up there in the box, so it takes the focus off of an Mbemo or a Wissa who have been putting the ball in the back of the net. That's so fair play to them. It is something that they're trying to do.
The clever bit that I would say is, and it's not clever, but it is thinking about it, it's not a long shelled ball onto the opposite fullback and you're giving him a chance to edit out for a throw-in.
Yeah.
It's in an in-between area so that it's not going out and it's going to be a second ball.
Getting knocked down in there.
So there is some logic and method to the madness of the bodies and the positioning. So from a coaching perspective, there's an element of tactics in it for sure. But like you would think for a West Ham, 3rd game, they've seen it happen at City, they've seen it happen at Tottenham. It's not happening to us.
Just quickly on West Ham then, Fozzie. Thomas Souček is one of these players, in my opinion, that you get all the glitzy 40 million players come in every summer, and after a few games, he just always makes his way back into the team.
workhorses, they're called. Watto,
They are, absolutely.
workhorses. When the chips are down, you need to get somebody back in who you can rely on, somebody you know who's going to work socks off, do it properly, get on the end of things and balls into... Like I say, you can have all this lovely, glowing football, playing, passing, and that's what West Ham have been calling out for years in David Moyes. They finally got it, they're not happy, and they've had to revert to type and bring the big boys back in. Mikel Antonio assist, Thomas Soucek bundled the ball into the back of the net, and it might just have to be that for a few weeks. Absolutely. Might just have to be that for a few weeks for West Ham, just to get a little bit of a foothold in games and get a few points on the board, and then they can start playing that nice football a little bit.
Right, next up on the screen, we've got a little teleprompter type thing with a few just key notes, haven't we? And jokingly, half tongue-in-cheek, I've put Ivan who, ... Mbuemo, 5 goals in his last 6 games. What goal that was, mate.
Honestly, mate, this guy is started this season like a house on fire. And you know what? In a strange way, taking what would have been their real talisman out of it and giving somebody that licence, some obviously sink, some swim. This guy, get Tony gone, I'll show you, Thomas. In starting, and the goals, oh my God. The proper goals that he's scoring. But he looks like he's loving football. He knows he's going to get the opportunities the way Brentford play, but he's backing himself and he can score any type of goal. I mean, that finish, like we were talking pre-show, he's not like laced it and it's gone like a rocket. He's like just somehow got that little bit of trajectory, but he's still hit it hard. Yeah. Areola, like, it's a great dive, isn't it? Looks amazing, but he's nowhere near it.
He knows what he's doing as well with the finish.
There's a feel. He's got a feel.
Yeah, he's got to feel it. He knows that he can't drill it because it'll just go up in the air. So he almost has to hit the bottom half of the ball, get backspin over it, and that's where that little loop comes, and it doesn't go so quick. But if you're the goalie, you've got absolutely no chance whatsoever. But he had a fantastic year last year, Bruno Fernandes. This season started off on fire as well. But to be fair, Ivan Toney out in Saudi scored 16 goals already, hasn't he?
What?
No, see, you haven't got a clue. Nobody's got a clue how he's getting on over there.
He's got one, hasn't he? He's got one, I think.
Nobody's got a clue, all right?
I was going to say, has he even played yet? Well, to be fair, that's the point.
That's the whole point. Yeah,
but just quickly, before we move on to Forest Fulham, West Ham weren't allowed to take a corner at the end, Ben. Yeah. So they've won a corner, blown the final whistle.
Oh, you'd be fuming. Honestly, you'd be fuming. It's kind of an unwritten rule, really, isn't it? That if you do win a corner or something like that, they normally let you take it. But in fairness, if you're going by the rule book, the time's the time. Yeah. If you've played the allotted amount of time, then that's how it goes. But it's kind of always been, just sort of let them take it and give them one last little roll of the dice to see.
But like, I've been sat on the bench, and if you're West Ham, you're absolutely spitting feathers because you know he's going to blow after that first or second contact. Yeah.
That's all you're getting. You're getting the first one, maybe they're knocked down, and then it's full.
But if you're Brentford, thank God for that, because you just don't want to lose the game at that point. Nope. But look, I'm like you, time is time, and it shouldn't really matter. If it's time, it should blow up. But I think both camps will have a slightly different view on it, because West Ham will be spewing, Brentford would take his point, thank you.
That'll do.
And then what about the old VAR penalty, Malta, Forest Fulham?
Oh my God, mate!
This was a messy one, weren't it?
Proper messy. I mean, I think like the only good thing that's going to come out of this is Clattenburg might get a job again at Forest.
Yeah, imagine. Good, wouldn't it?
What about the penalty? Because like on comms and stuff, they were saying he's raked his leg, and it felt a little. Was it a Stonewall penalty?
It wasn't Stonewall.
Was it?
It's only Stonewall when you go to VAR. Oh. Because the ref, in them instances, you know, when it's a cross and the ball's up in the air, the ref's looking for grabbing and shirt pulling. Nobody's seeing the bits with your feet if he stands on somebody's toes.
But even the players that are looking at the ball, their eyes are focused on the ball, and they're not really. So if somebody does leave a leg behind, or they're not quite as quick off the mark, and you accidentally just sort of stand on them, which is what happened here, I'm like, I don't know if that's a penalty or not. I really don't know if that's a penalty or not, because I just think it's two players that have ended up making a collision. Yeah, I know it doesn't look great that he's put his studs down the back of him, but it's not meaning to do it. Do you know what I mean? It's just two players in the way of each other.
No, they're not designed to be on Strictly Come Dancing and have lovely little footwork patterns.
Yeah.
When the ball's there, you actually know what your feet need to do. But if somebody steps across you to change your pattern, then it's difficult. Look, on VAR slow, I think he has to give a penalty. But I can understand why in open play, he's never seen that.
Never seen that.
Never seen it.
And what about the Bassi one? He was probably a bit fortunate.
Again, though, it's Okay, it's a subjective one where I think because the ref hasn't given it on the field, they've not really tried to manufacture anything in VAR, even though they did with the first one. But yeah, I don't want to see penalties getting given for the Bassi one or for the studs down from Maria. I don't like it. I don't like it. Otherwise, you're giving penalties and free kicks and.
But you can see why. Nuno gets upset, even though I'm saying I don't think you should be on at refs, because he gets one given against him that's very soft, to say the least. And even though Bassi's would have been equally as soft, there's not really... got, and that's my point. If you give one and you know you've got some dog's abuse, you have to give that penalty.
Yeah.
I think you have to give it. And that's where he's got frustrated, and maybe Clattenburg's got a job for life there.
Fulham 6th in the league, though. Last time they started the season this well, qualified for Europe. Who was the manager?
Mate. Oh, Roy Boy.
Roy the boy.
Roy the boy. But it's nice that Jimenez has got 50 goals after, obviously a shocking, terrible injury. And he's come back, and in his interview after, he looks like he's enjoying life, football, and when you've had such a catastrophic injury, just to be back on the field.
Before we go into the quiz, lads, I've got a little quiz question for you.
Before the quiz, we've got a quiz.
Can we get half a point?
Jimenez is the second highest...
Oh, no.
Chicharito.
See? Is that in the quiz later? No. If that's in the quiz, I thought I might get that later.
I think he's on 50. Is Chicharito on
53? 53.
We all watched it, mate.
We do his homework, Fozzie. We do his homework, mate.
I heard this on the radio. Was this on Match
I think it was on Match. I can't remember.
Damn it, I heard it on the radio. I thought that's nice.
I don't open my bottle of red wine till 2 o'clock Sunday.
Who was third on the list?
Mexican?
Yeah.
I didn't see, because I only heard the radio version.
I
don't know.
I did see it, but I couldn't tell you.
Don't know.
I can't help you. Do you want to go for the quiz, though?
I think it's time for the...
Carlos Vela. Yeah.
That's the quizmaster piping up from the library. Well done,
Jamie,
mate.
let's
Well
go.
done,
Quiz
Jimmy.
time.
Come on.
Right, we are back for the football fill-in quiz. We've got 11 questions, but before we start, we've got a surprise.
Oh, what's the surprise?
Surprise for
Is it
Ben.
someone's birthday?
It's for Ben.
Oh, it's obviously for Ben.
Ben, if you just look over your shoulder.
I don't know what this is, Joe.
Down.
Oh, I know what they are. I know what they are. Look at this, you lot. Right, so we were doing a podcast, wasn't we, in London the other day. Stuart Dallas, he was fantastic, by the way.
He was great.
Absolutely fantastic. And there was a shock drop on the sneakers app, Nike sneakers app, right? Shock drop of these Pata 20th anniversary of the green chlorophyll Nike Air Max 1s, Watto. I know you know.
You're going to have to show me.
We know, don't we,
right?
Oh, we know.
And anyway, the shock drop came on, and I was like, oh my God, I'm entering the draw. So I joined the draw. I got a little message through saying, sorry, your entry wasn't selected. Jamie, though, who's sitting opposite me.
You asked him to do it on your behalf.
He's sitting opposite me, and Jamie don't wear Air Max 1s, so it's not a thing. But he went, do you want me to... I do. He said, do you want me to enter on my phone on your behalf? And I went, oh, that'd be lovely, that, Jay, thank you. Size 9, yeah, perfect, boom. His got selected, right? So he came through with them. Let's have a look at Oh, look at them. Jiminy.
Beautiful. Patter as well, aren't they?
Oh, of course.
What do you think, Watto?
Yeah, won them, yeah. Well, you have to pay for them, but...
You know what? I used to have the originals of these.
I don't
honestly.
think
I had the
they'll make
originals
me
these
look
20
any
years ago.
Do you still have them?
No, I sold them. They're
They
going
go
for
for like $2,000 now.
about $2,500.
What, a pair of shoes like that?
Not them ones.
The OG ones, 2004 versions, are going for about.
What's retail on them, Fozzie?
120 was it?
150 on
Yeah.
on sneakers, but you can sell them for 200 now on StockX.
So what? How much money do you want me to pay?
No,
you?
you can give me retail. 100.
You don't want to split the difference?
No.
You're not just going to give him a gift?
I thought
you loved Ben.
I thought the way this... I thought
I knew this was going to happen.
I thought the way this were panning out, they were a gift.
It sounded like
early Christmas present, isn't it?
That's what it sounded like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, early Christmas present.
Cheers.
I really like the box as well. The box is
It's class, isn't it?
Well, I'll tell you what, you keep the trainers, I'll let you have the box.
Yeah.
Cheers, Jay. Thank you, mate. It means a lot, that.
Lovely, that is.
From the heart.
Oh, I've got your present as well. I've got your present as well.
you haven't.
I have. I'll save it till next week. Mine cost £4, though. But
Hey, mate, it's the thought that counts, isn't
Thought
it?
that counts.
Yes.
It would be something to do with camping.
Maybe.
Cheers, Jay. Love that. Right, let's go. Quiz time. Come on.
Okay, question 1.
Come on, Em.
Last week, Premier League teams competed in the Carabao Cup, but which is the only Premier League side which went to penalties?
Leicester.
Correct. Walsall.
Yeah, he probably went to watch it.
I only know because Walsall didn't score and he saved 3.
Did he?
Don't like that question.
What? Hermanson?
No, Ward.
Oh, go on, big Wardy.
Question 2. When Andre Villa-Boas was Tottenham manager in 2012, who was the manager before him?
Martin Jol.
No.
Oh, I'd have said that.
That's a really good question.
Oh.
Who was the manager before Andre Villa-Boas
Name.
for Tottenham Hotspur in 2012?
Harry Redknapp?
Harry Redknapp is the correct answer.
About to say it. Honestly, I'm fuming. Just about to say
Hey,
it.
when you get mad today at any point, just think about the gift he's got you.
Yeah.
Oh, I knew that. I
Allowed to
knew
get
that.
mad today.
He can't get mad today. He's had a nice gift.
1-1 now.
Question 3. EA Sports FC 25 was released last week.
Jude Bellingham. Yes!
That cannot be
Get
right.
in there.
That's impossible.
Let's get in there. Who's on the cover is
But
what
who
he
was
was
on
going
the
to
front
say.
cover on the
Yes!
first edition? Jude
I
Bellingham.
had to go early then, but I backed
That's
it.
not.
good. If you go
That's
early-
not a quiz question, mate.
Get in
No, it's
there.
not.
No, that's
not
not a
it.
football quiz
I'm
question.
not having that.
Is it not?
Fantastic question,
It
Jay.
is.
Fantastic.
No, I'm not.
Fantastic.
Not for somebody of my age.
Hey, don't listen to it, Jay.
You might have bought it for your son. You never know.
I actually have, but I've never seen the cover of it. Oh my God.
Who was it that had their son mowing the lawn at the weekend? A John Crown Shaw picture of his lad mowing the lawn saying, you can tell EA's out this week.
Absolutely.
Question 4. When Ivan Toney was at Brentford, what was his shirt number?
9.
18.
No.
I haven't got a clue.
It's just, I don't know. It's a nothing question. Sorry, Jay, but...
That was a nibble. Absolute nibsy.
I'm not happy with these shirt numbers one, Jay.
Shirt number question. They're good. A lot of people like shirt number
I
questions.
don't know, 10.
No, 17 it was.
Well, I thought you were going to let us back in.
No, I'm not letting you back in because you didn't like the question.
Oh, you forgot.
Oh, you forgot the old...
You know what I mean? Yes, he's gone
like
off
the
track.
question.
Gone off track there.
Don't get a chance to come back in. I'm
All right,
sorry.
all right. Man.
I'm just
all
going to say it's not a vintage quiz so far, but, you know,
Yeah, Tony. No, I'm not even going to give you this stat.
in his head.
Question 5, career path questions. We all love
Oh,
it.
we
Oh, we love him.
we
We
love
love
him,
him.
I have played for Grenoble, Istres Loan, Tours, Montpellier, Tours Loan, Arsenal, Chelsea, AC Milan, Los Angeles FC.
Giroud.
Olivier Giroud is the correct answer.
Oh, just come in with it. I'd forgot all the other bit until he went to Chelsea. Milan.
Yeah, I was thinking Drogba until it went to, but he was Marseille, wasn't he?
Yeah, Marseille.
Yes.
Anyway, that was a better question.
Thank you.
All right, man.
Question 6. What was the name of the Arsenal GK, age 16, who made their debut versus Bolton
Oh, no.
in the Carabao Cup last week? Who did you say?
No, I didn't.
Draper.
No, that's a tennis player.
Is it because he said Jack?
Yes.
It's Jack Potter.
No.
I don't know.
Oh, gosh, I know this.
Carabao Cup quiz this week, isn't it?
I know this.
I don't know. Williams.
Nope. You're all back in.
Jeffrey.
No, it's...
No, you know it's Jack.
Who did you say?
I can't tell you.
Potter, you said, didn't you?
Harry.
5.
Carter.
No. 4. 3.
It's something like that. It's
Two.
like...
1.
Oh, mate, honestly.
Jack Porter.
Porter! Oh!
Oh, that's harsh.
He only turned 16 in July and Arsenal's second youngest debutant ever behind his current teammate,
Wanyeri.
Ethan Wanyeri. Yep.
Oh, if we would have put our heads together there and gone between Potter and Carter...
Half a point.
I knew it. I know. So it's really bad. I was reading up about it all and everything. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Anyway,
There we
it's
go.
a name, isn't it? It's a name.
Yep.
What's the score, Jiminy?
2, 1, 1.
2, 1, 1,
And what question we on, Jim?
Question 7. Question 7. Why have I done that? Which goalkeeper is rumoured to be coming out of retirement
Chesney.
and be signing for Barcelona?
Yeah.
Chesney.
Wojciech.
Chesney. A lot of goalkeepers in this quiz.
Yeah, we're not getting too many right.
A lot of goalkeepers' questions and a gift.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me about favouritism.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Let's get gifts to everyone next.
I think
that would
so.
be
mate,
lovely
yeah.
if you could.
Question 8. There are currently 5 Premier League managers who are from the same country, which is the highest.
Holland,
in Premier League.
Dutch,
However,
Netherlands.
which nation?
Is he out or?
Oh, he's out. We're going to read the question again, okay? There are currently 5 Premier League managers who are from the same country, which is the highest in Premier League. However, which nation is it?
Spain.
Spain is the correct answer. Can you?
You must have been close there with that Dutch one. I was thinking.
I think it's 2.
Panic, because last time I said Holland on a quiz, I got hammered and people going, "It's not even a real country," and I was like, "I know, you know."
Spain's right, isn't it?
Guardiola, Iraola,
Maresca.
No, Maresca's not.
He's
No?
Italian, isn't
No, he is Italian, yeah.
he? To Bournemouth.
Nuno, Spirito, something.
No, he's
No, he's
Portuguese.
Oh my gosh.
Silva.
No, he's Italian.
Portuguese. Wait, so who are we on so far? Arteta,
You've done Pep.
Guardiola,
Arteta,
Iraola,
Iraola.
Iraola. You got 2 more.
Oh,
Unai Emery.
Sean Dyche.
Sorry. Yeah.
There's
Unai
one more.
Emery.
One
Have we
more.
got one more?
Yeah, one more.
Herzl is German. Is he German?
Yeah.
West Ham.
Oh, Lopetegui.
Lopetegui, yeah.
Yep.
Good question.
Well, you
Jack.
I
got it
think
right,
3
though.
of them are Basques.
Yeah, that's a
Maybe
grey
4.
area. That's grey area.
Anyway,
Still Spain.
Still Spain, that's true.
Yep. Question 9. So the scores are
3-2-1, isn't it?
3, 2, 1.
I need to
Yep.
produce.
you on 3?
Yep.
I need to produce something here. Miraculous.
What club is Jose Mourinho currently managing?
Fenerbahce.
Fenerbahce. Watto. I love that.
Oh, just watch those cards. You're leaning
I
forward.
can't see. I've told you. I need
He's
glasses.
getting aggy now.
Yeah.
Because it's tight.
Yeah,
It
come
is
on.
tight.
Tom, we've just got to produce
Well,
something
get
here.
1 to take it to a tiebreaker.
Come on, Watto.
Question 10. Which player has the most own goals in Premier League history?
Jamie Carragher.
No.
Oh, I know it!
No.
I know this.
This was one of those Nike ones when we did in America.
Which player has the most
I
own
know
goals
this.
in Premier League history? This player has...
No, don't, no.
Countdown, sure.
No, why? We wanted to go to a thing, don't we?
Yeah, but you win.
5.
You win outright.
4, 3.
Are we
I
back,
know who
Are we
it
back in
is.
after you say it?
No, hold
Yes,
on. No,
we
you
are.
can't just go, you can't
Yes.
make your decision.
Jamie,
No.
what are the rules?
Right. You guys gave me grief for that question, so I said not allowed, okay? Yeah.
I
this
like it
one,
being fair.
We're allowed.
So
allowed.
what's happening then after the countdown? He's thinking. He's
3,
stalling.
2, 1.
He's
Are we
played-
back in?
He's
We're all
played
back
like
in.
West Ham,
Dawson.
Chelsea.
No.
Richard Dunn.
Richard Dunn's the correct answer.
Come on, the tiebreaker.
I weren't getting him. I weren't thinking.
Fans want it to go to a tiebreaker, and it's at that
It's a
tiebreaker.
disgrace.
That was great officiating, that was, Jay.
No worries.
Jamie.
Just being firm. Yeah.
You might get a pair of trainers if you want.
Should have done the winner gets the pair of trainers.
Absolutely, that would have been nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so what? Unfortunately, you cannot.
Win the
Did
trainers.
he get 7 or 9?
He got 10.
10.
A lot
10
of
own goals.
OGs, that is.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have got him.
Question 11, tiebreaker question between Ben and Tom. What is the name of Bristol City Stadium?
Ashfield Road?
No, it's
No,
not.
No,
It's not.
I should be in here. I'd have got this
You would
easy.
have got it.
Oh,
I know it. No, don't.
oh, mate.
Bristol City.
Bristol City
I'm going to tell you,
Stadium.
when they've both made an arse of it, I'll tell you.
Are we back in?
No.
5.
I know it as well. It's a beer thing.
It's not.
Is it? Is
are we
it the
back in
Hargreaves Lansdowne?
No,
Stadium.
that's the sponsor.
I think it might
It's
be
who
right.
owns it. That's who's.
that-
It's not like Heineken or something like that.
No.
You're all back in.
It's not Ashton Gate.
Oh, for fuck's
Oh my God, you've done it. Ashton Gate Stadium.
Where did you pull
Is
that
it?
in?
Have
No,
they
no.
not gone like a sponsor?
No.
It's,
It's Ashton
obviously
Gate
Ashton Gate. I
Ashton Gate, you've won.
thought it was like a new. Did they not
No.
rename
So
it?
simple, mate.
So simple.
So you've won
You've
and
won.
got your trainers.
It's a bit of a hollow victory, though.
Oh,
Yeah,
come
Is it a
on.
hollow victory? Is it?
If I'd have only been in the tiebreak, I'd have got it, wouldn't
Yeah.
Grudgingly.
I? Well played, mate. Well
I'm
played.
not sure it's Ashton Gate, Jay.
It is.
Odom. Next week.
Yeah.
Odom. Yeah, Odom.